Right. Hi again, everyone. This is Heather Labby from the YWCA, and with me I have my dear friend and my therapist, Phyllis, and I'm going to turn it over to Phyllis and she can introduce herself.
Hello, my name is Phyllis DiGioia. I'm a licensed clinical social worker in Manchester, Connecticut. I'm the executive director of a nonprofit called Honor Wellness Center, which serves first responders, veterans, and their families from a mental health, addictions, and trauma treatment perspective on an outpatient basis.
I might just love you. So when everybody, at my work got sent home, I thought, well, I've got so many wonderful people in my life. I'm so blessed to have like some of the most quality people in the world in my life, and I'm trying to get some of their wonderful messages out to folks that I'm connected with through social media. So you and I have talked a little bit about some of the things I'd like to get your take on with where everyone is right now. And some of the folks I'm connected with are really concerned about making it through this time in their homes in close quarters. I think there's a lot of materials out there for little ones and toddlers. Not that that's any easier. It's tough, but I haven't seen a lot of information about how to manage young adults that you might, be living with right now. And certainly like almost no information on how to manage intimate relationships. Um, Spouses, mates, and partners that used to spend 8 to 12 hours separated going to work, and they're now on top of each other. So help us out, Phyllis. Help me out.
Yes, absolutely. That's been a challenge, I think, for every person that I've spoken with, because now we're teleconferencing. We're not even doing the in-person thing in the office. And so what I have heard more times than not is snapping at each other, or my kids are staying in their room. Uh, they're frustrated because they want to be with their friends and they can't. And so they're stuck at home with their parents, and oh my gosh, they're stuck at home. How is everybody going to make it through this alive? And it's not even about the virus then, it's really more about family dynamics.
For sure.
Yeah, and I think that's where we begin is number one, is the grounding within ourselves. What is our
Please take
comfort
notes.
level?
I'm taking some notes. I do this with everybody. So, all right, the grounding.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah. So the grounding within ourselves, what's our comfort level being, just being with ourselves? I think that's probably one of the hardest parts for people to begin is if I'm distracted from 8 to 12 hours every day doing a job, going to a job and doing that job, whether it be distracted by other people's stuff or being distracted by that job description that I get the paycheck for on a computer, talking to people, whatever it is, I'm distracted from me. I'm distracted for 8 to 12 hours from me. And sometimes that's designed with purpose. I want to be distracted from me because I don't know what to do with me.
Right.
And that's number one. How do I, now that I'm being forced to slow down, how do I now take time for me
Okay.
and breathe? How do
Right.
I keep it simple?
Okay. I like
How do
that
I
one.
just be? So that's number one, is keep it simple.
I love that.
We're going to take it forward, keep it simple, to communication. How do I communicate with intent? And that means no more, no less. Keep it simple. This is how I feel. This is what I think. This is what I want.
I love it.
This is what I need.
Yep.
Right? Keep it simple.
Okay.
And so Mindfulness is where it's at. We get back to that all the time, because when we start with acknowledging our ability to be with ourselves, yeah, that simple is all about the black and white. Where am I at right now? How do I feel? Am I emotionally responding?
Okay.
Right? What do I feel right now versus am I reacting emotionally to someone, person, place, or thing that may have nothing to do with what I actually feel within me, but I'm externalizing it or projecting it because I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to manage it.
So I did this yesterday. I had worked like this crazy, 6 hours that I barely came up for a breath. And I started to feel like the pain in my shoulder that tells me I've been sitting too long. And so I got up and I went for a jog and I came back and right back at it, right back into it. And a voice from upstairs came floating down. Can somebody come over? And I just went, no. And what it sounded like was that I was aggravated with the person from whom the voice emanated. But I wasn't. I was just focused on other things and I wasn't thinking about how that came across until I heard the door slam. And then I went, what we do around here is WWPD. What would Phyllis do? And I thought, I know. And so the other thing I'm telling people, I took a compassionate pause, right? And I just and I thought, well, first of all, if I have some compassion for myself, I can see that this is totally understandable. I'm trying to do multiple things here. And that helped me to be compassionate to the person on the other end of that voice. And I went upstairs and I apologized and I added some context, kept it really simple, didn't need to go into details. And I just said, I did not mean to respond that way. That was not about how I feel about where we are. It was about, work and things going on. Why don't you tell me what it is you're looking for? And then, went from there. So I think, I've been talking to you for a couple of months, a long time now. And so it finally sunk in. But that's what you're, trying to, I think that's what you're just talking about at least a little bit. And
That's
it works
beautiful.
it works when you work it, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's a beautiful example, Heather. I think that job well done for sure, because the couple of seconds that it takes to say, okay, well, what do you need?
Mhm.
Like, who do you want to have come over? What time? What's the plan? The few seconds that takes versus the no and
Mhm.
that emotional reaction,
Mhm.
that few extra seconds really saves hours, days, months
It did.
of built up resentment.
It did.
And yeah, yeah, for sure.
Is
For
that
sure.
Luke?
That is Luke, and he hears the cats. So Luke is not happy because the cats terrorize him on a daily basis. He hasn't figured it
Oh,
out. He's a German Shepherd. Yeah.
yes. I love my Luke. All
Yes.
right. Well, what else? Do you have any other tips for us about how to be in the house with a spouse? I think we should write a book, In the House with Your
Yes.
Spouse.
It's a Dr. Seuss spinoff. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that keep it simple in terms of what are you really trying to communicate and making sure that you are taking your time,
Mhm.
sure, for grounding, and also honoring the need for couple time as well as family time.
Ooh, I
And,
hadn't thought of that. Okay.
you know, honoring that need for family time, even if you've got young adults or teenagers in the house, it may be a short window of time that they're going to acquiesce and sit down at the dinner table.
Mhm.
But That's awesome. Or being able to actually maybe play a game
Yeah.
or go for a walk. And if there are animals at home, let the animal be kind of that cohesive agent of going for that walk.
Okay.
But it is important to honor all of those facets beginning with you.
I love it. So if I'm hearing this correctly, I think the overarching is really to keep things simple, which
Yes.
I'm so grateful that you have narrowed that down and made that a priority, because I was talking with someone else today, and I'm resisting. I feel all this, sort of this pressure, like I gotta paint some rooms, and I gotta clean out some closets, and I gotta build relationships, and I gotta have family time, and and I was like, wait a minute.
No.
No,
Uh-uh.
keep it simple. So
Keep it
thank you.
simple.
That's
1
helpful.
to 3 goals a day. That's what we're
Perfect.
looking at. Keep it
And
simple.
then, prioritizing self time,
Yes.
family time, and couple time.
Yep.
And that those things, are going to be in different balances on different days, depending on who's around and what mood people are in. But it sounds like you're doing what you always do for me, which is help me feel self-compassion,
Yes.
help me feel self-value, which is a huge one you've done for me, and just to let everyone sort of get through the day in the best way that they can.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
1 step at a time. Always. Always.
Yay. Well, I get to see you every week. I get to see you tomorrow, so I'm thrilled about that. Or at least I get to talk to you tomorrow. I'm not
I
sure.
as well. Yes.
Yes. And I can't tell you how much it warms my heart to be sharing you with all of my peeps. I just think it's been such a wonderful relationship, and I really appreciate. I'm humbled and a lot of gratitude for the time you've given me today, and
Thank you, Heather.
I know it will bless a lot of people. And awesome. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. You be well.
You be well too. Bye, Luke. Love you.
Bye.
Mwah. Take care, Phyllis.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.